You were listening to chartingwealth.com for Tuesday, the 3rd of May, 2016. Let's jump right into things. We're looking at IYY, which is the iShares Dow Jones U.S. Total Market Index Fund. It's where we always start. What do we see going on? Well, we wrapped up at the end of the day on Monday, a 2-day down candle. We have a trend line connecting 6 days, that is 3 down candles. The market was up for the day 0.75%. That's the total market, but we still are in a confirmed down move. One up day does not mean that the charts roll over going up. So keep that in mind as you listen to the news. If you do listen to it, I try not to. I don't want to confuse myself. Now let's look at what went on during the day. We look at the intraday, the 4-hour chart. We see that it was up a little bit in the morning, the market was, and up more in the afternoon, actually up to about twice as much in the morning. In the afternoon, and then the bears were able to pull it back down. Now, we have had the market in a confirmed down move on the short chart since the 22nd. It has not yet rolled over going up. We're hoping that it will on the short chart and then move back over going down so we can find an entry point. Want to know more about what our theories are in trading? Well, that's easy enough to do. All you've got to do is sign up for our daily newsletter at chartingwealth.com, and we'll send you a link to our How to Read a Stock Chart video, and it will help you understand exactly what our methods and techniques are for you to start practicing. Remember, we're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. Now let's quickly move on to the next chart. I've noticed as I've done the analytics on our podcast that folks tend to tune in between 5 to 7 minutes. Our broadcast is typically 9 to 11 minutes, so I'm going to try to push it along quicker for you so that you're able within about 5 minutes to get your market update. Now, and maybe we'll talk about some other stuff later, but we'll at least give you your market updates first so you have those. So what do we have? We have SPY next. That's a Standard & Poor's 500. It crossed over, as we saw similar with the total market on the 28th, going down. We have 4 red squares going down. We have the market up for the day 0.79%. Now again, that up movement doesn't mean the market itself is up on our large chart. It is still down on our 2-day chart. We also saw the derivative oscillator rotate over going down, even though the market was up for the day. Again, the derivative oscillator, you can read about that at our site. We explain what the derivative oscillator is, or you can just look it up at Investopedia or just Google it. But we use the derivative oscillator. We use the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, as our only 2 indicators. They are helpful to us. Again, we use Occam's razor rule, the rule of simplicity. We want to keep our decision making as simple as possible, but as Einstein said, not simpler. Now, let's look at what happened intraday on the S&P 500. What do we see? Well, we see, again, similar to the IYY, up in the morning, up a lot more in the afternoon, and that was shaved off by the bears pulling it back down. Now, let's go back to our 2-day chart, and we're going to take a look at the Qs. The Qs was up the most of our 3 indexes, up 0.95%. We do on the Qs have a strong 8 days worth of down candles. Derivative oscillator heated up even more on Monday. The Qs rolled over on the 26th, 2 days before the total market and the S&P 500 moved down. So the Qs led the way. I had some comments that some of you said that we were prescient in our down call based upon what we saw going on in the technology stocks. We were, and again, that comes from practicing, my friends. That's why you need to do this every day. Just a few minutes. Look at these charts. Make yourself do it every day, because guess what? You get better by practicing. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall. Practice, and that's what you got to do. Just a little bit of time, and it's fun when you get these things right. And then you realize it's also extremely profitable in the future. So What more can you do to help yourself and your family and your future and your finances than learn how to read a stock chart? It's a whole lot better, I would argue, than listening to the news and reading the paper. So we have 4 down candles on the Qs. If we go over to the 4-hour chart, what do we see? We see the 4-hour chart was up on the Qs in the morning, up a little more in the afternoon. And again, what we see there is still the movement is well below the 2-day trend line. We don't have a crossover going up yet, but we'll continue to watch and be hopeful. All right, that is where we ended the 3 indexes on Monday. We're going to go back to our 2-day chart, and we're going to take a look at gold, which was down 0.33% for the day. Now, if you look at the 2-day candle from the 2nd of May, it is a huge up candle, blowing it out well above the Bollinger Bands, which of course are the volatility bands. The market did roll back a little bit, taking away some of those gains on the 2-day candle from that first big day on Friday. But derivative oscillators still moving up, crossover going up. Gold has crossed over as of the 2-day chart that ended on the 2nd of May. And the derivative oscillator flipped over about the same time, which is always a good sign for continued up moves. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. We can see that gold was up a little in the morning and then rolled over in the afternoon. So gold is a confirmed up move on the short chart. Continue to pay attention to that. That is where we ended the day with all 3 of our indexes. If you'd like more information, I encourage you to go to chartingwealth.com. Do sign up for our newsletter. Besides how to read a stock chart video, the link to that, guess what you'll also receive? Our layout at freestockcharts.com. We love to hear from you. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to do something nice for us, go to iTunes. You can subscribe or not to the podcast. If you sign up for our newsletter, you'll get it. But go to iTunes for us. Give us a 5-star rating. Say something nice about us. It really helps our metrics a lot. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless. Hope that you have a great week in the market from chartingwealth.com.